Hey guys, my name is Timeo, and today I decided to finally sit down and take the time to relearn how to snipe in Battlefield 4. As I'm sure you guys are all very aware that with the big spring patch, some changes have occurred to the bolt-action rifles. And more specifically, and probably the most controversial aspect, is that every single one of these weapons is now zeroed out to 100 meters. This is a huge deviation from what most people are accustomed to when they pick up one of these rifles. Most people, I'm assuming, just kept it at the standard 0. There really wasn't any reason not to do that, especially if you come from past first-person shooters. I mean, you can look at past Battlefield games. They didn't allow you to zero out your rifle to 100 or 200 meters. They all kept it at 0, and so I have a feeling that this has caused a little bit of a frustration. And so when people tell me that they have 20,000 kills with the SRR 61 bolt action rifle, my heart went out to them a little bit. They clearly had mastered the bullet drop. They knew exactly where to aim at an enemy's head at a set distance to nail that headshot. And so now that the rifle is zeroed out to 100 meters and they can't bring it back down to 0, this has basically screwed up that entire bullet drop. They now have to relearn exactly where they need to shoot at an enemy at those set distances, and I thought that that was going to be a nightmare for them. Surprisingly, and maybe this is just simply because I had no idea what I was doing with these weapons before the patch. Like, I fully admitted over this last year that I'm not a very good sniper. It's the reason why you guys don't really see a lot of sniper gameplay on my channel. I've never built up muscle memory. I've never really had any idea what I was doing to begin with these weapons, but this change has actually made me more confident in my ability to take people out when I am using a bolt action rifle. It blew me away when I actually made this realization and I actually understood what I was doing with these weapons. What it really comes down to is that yes, when you're playing aggressively, these changes suck. There's been a lot of times when I've tried to play as an aggressive recon where I aim for the enemy's head, they're 5 feet in front of me, I aim for the top of their head thinking that I'm gonna be able to get the kill, and the bullet soars over their body and I don't even get a hit marker, and of course they're gonna be able to take me out very quickly after that. Those moments are very frustrating. But if you are playing as a standard recon, you're using like the 8x scope, a higher optic, you're playing a little bit away from the action, you're playing the role as it's supposed to be, supporting your teammates from a distance, these changes are actually really nice, and it comes down to the simple fact that all you really have to do now is aim at the enemy's head, or at least with the JNG-90. This might be a little bit different for some weapons, but at least for the JNG-90, it really didn't matter how far or close the enemy was. If I aimed at their head and I squeezed the trigger and they weren't moving, I got the headshot, pretty much no matter what. It didn't even matter if the enemy was a crazy distance away, or normally too far for me to feel confident to be able to drop them. Here's a perfect example. I see this recon on top of the tower, I want to take him out, and normally before the spring patch, it would have taken me a good 5 to 6 shots before I was able to line it up and compensate for that bullet drop. I would have aimed way above his head to try and figure out where I was supposed to aim, and maybe if I was lucky, if he was completely oblivious and for whatever reason just continued to sit there while bullets were zipping by, after that 5th shot, maybe I would be able to secure the kill. But now with this, because I've grown to understand that basically as long as I aim for their head or aim at the tip of their head for those extreme distances while the rifle is zeroed out to 100 meters, I am able to get that bullet to fly directly to his head and of course secure the kill. It's kind of amazing and has made me way more confident in my ability to take people out at all of these distances. The funny thing is that I could have been doing this since the very beginning of Battlefield 4. You always had the ability to zero out your rifle to 100 meters, and that probably would have been a godsend to me. Like, I probably would have enjoyed the recon class a hell of a lot more at the very beginning of the game. I would have continued to snipe, and it would have been probably one of my favorite classes. I am enjoying the hell out of this thing right now. The thing is, though, is that my heart still goes out to those gamers, those recon players that had mastered these weapons before the patch. While I'm sure a lot of them have already grit their teeth, they've gone through the gauntlet of getting adjusted and acclimated to the new bullet drop and in this new type of system, it still sucks that they had to spend all of this time to relearn something that they spend hundreds of hours to achieve. And while I don't think that this new system is going to be the catalyst or the keystone that causes them to move on over to a different class or for them to abandon the recon overall, it still sucks that they have to relearn this system that they've grown very accustomed to. The question that I have now, though, is will all of the future Battlefield games have this new type of dynamic where all of the rifles are zeroed out to 100 meters, or will they revert it back to what it was at the beginning of Battlefield 4, or basically all of the past Battlefield games? The reason I bring this up is that having consistency between games is a good thing. Like, you want to at least be able to transfer some of your skills from past Battlefield titles into the new one. If it's too much of a deviation, that's going to make some people upset. And so if they constantly bounce between the two different systems, that's going to be really jarring and honestly really annoying. And so I'm interested to see how DICE approaches it for the next Battlefield game. Are they going to keep the head glitch mechanic in there? Apparently that's the reason why all the rifles are zeroed out the way that they are right now. Or are they going to revert it back to what we had at the start of Battlefield 4, or basically what all of the previous Battlefield games are like? And so I'd like to get your guys' take on this. Do you like the current new system? Do you like the way that sniping performs right now because of the head glitch mechanic? Or would you rather them revert it back to what it was and actually give the player the agency to decide if they want to have it at 0 or zero it out to 100 meters? Let me know down below. But overall, I have had a lot of fun sniping over these last couple of days. I've been sick this last week. It's been a great distraction to try and master and relearn how sniping works in Battlefield 4. And in general, I just feel way more confident. And so hopefully I'll be able to continue to snipe. Hopefully this confidence will extend in the future and I can bring you guys more sniper gameplay. But in general, I'm just having a hell of a lot of fun with these bolt action rifles. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. And so until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.